young people, it's your time.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Every movement in the U.S. started with the young people. Young people on college campuses. You're about to all go on to college campuses in about a year. Young people in the classroom. The movement starts with our young. Because you know why?
Why?
You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
True.
Nothing to lose.
Today we welcome Councilwoman Patricia Perkins Auguste, a woman for the people, devoted to the people, and serving the people of Elizabeth, New Jersey with over 25 years of experience.
Watch out, the clock may tick and your life's over. Choosing to be happy takes weight off your shoulder.
Hello.
Thank you.
Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much. And this is my 33rd year in serving the residents of the city of Elizabeth as
Very
an
impressive.
elected official.
Very
Thank you.
impressive. I just
Well-
wanted to ask if you could go more into depth and just explain kind of what you do as a councilwoman.
Well, as a local legislator, I don't know if the audience is familiar with civics. A local legislator is the legislative body for the local government, meaning that anything that happens in the city of Elizabeth, any money that is spent, it has to come through the local city council. We have to vote on it and approve it. That's in short what a local legislator, a council person does.
Very respectable job.
So, how was it working on the council as knowing you're the first female African American on board?
Well, it has its pluses and it has its, challenges. Being the first, always like, oh, that's great. But then you want to know who's going to be the second, who's going to be the third. You just don't want to be the first of something. You always want to be the one who break open barriers and have other people to come through the door.
Okay, well, do you have anything to help people, for anybody that would want to step into your job, or step into a position that you are? Do you have any thing to tell them, any motivation?
First of all, you have to like helping others. You have to like understanding that there are solutions to most issues that appear. So you can't run away from a problem.
Yeah.
You have to understand that people concerns, most of them are valid. Some of them are based on emotions, but at the end of the day, you're trying to get to a solution that most people can live with, that most people can benefit from. So that's one of the things. You have to first like to deal with people. Okay. You have to also you have to know the governmental process. So you have to like civics. The first thing I said, do you know civics? So you have to know what your role is as a local legislative leader.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just wanted to ask, now, I had noticed you are the only female on the 9-member council right now. How do you feel knowing that there aren't any other women surrounding you still?
Well, I would hope one day that other women do join. And I need to say, when I first became on the council, there were 2 other women. So it was 3 of us in the beginning. And then one didn't get reelected. And of course, the other one didn't get reelected. They were replaced by men. So when I came on the council, there were 2 other women on the council. And so, but like I said, through the politics, through campaigning, which is a critical point in terms of how do you get reelected. And so they were outnumbered in terms of votes, and that's why they're no longer on the council.
Yeah, I understand. I just wanted to ask, as someone who was born and raised here in Elizabeth, have you noticed any changes in the community? Have there been anything that you've noticed between the youth and people that you help?
Well, Elizabeth, I was born and raised here. My mom was born and raised here also in Elizabeth. She'll be 88 years old next month. So we have a long history in the city of Elizabeth. And Elizabeth is a very old city, meaning that there have always been people who have come through the city of Elizabeth who have, whether they were Irish, Italian, Polish, Latino, Cubans, you name it, the whole gamut, Jamaicans, Africans, they've all seemed to come through the city of Elizabeth.
Very diverse
Because
city.
very diverse. Because where we're situated. We're situated by an airport, the Newark International Airport, and also the seaport. So it's an area where people can come, and then we have trains. We have all the mass transportations that's needed to move people from one place to another. So yes, there have been transition on top of transition on top of transition. So the city of Elizabeth is a city that's still evolving. It's one of the older cities in the state of New Jersey. Elizabeth was the capital of the state of New Jersey at one point.
Very old,
Very
historic town.
old, yeah. George Washington came through the city of Elizabeth.
Yeah.
You know, we have the Hamilton House before Alexander Hamilton used to be on Broad Street, that house
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
So it's a city that's been evolving, a city that's been uniquely involved in U.S. history. So
Yeah.
that's why those who live in Elizabeth, they really need to know the history. I'm like a history person, so you really got to know the history of the town that you're living in, and then you'll understand where it's going. Many transitions, many cultures, but we're one city. So
Yeah.
that's how I work with my constituents in the city. We're one city. Okay, so what you need is what everyone else's need: clothing, food, shelter, a good job, education, a place for recreation. We all need the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very diverse city, but we can all come together.
Diverse, but we
Yeah.
all come together. It's one in unity.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I wanted to ask you a bit about your nonprofit work. I had seen in your bio that you mentioned you like to help multiple nonprofits, and I just wanted to ask, like, what specific types of nonprofits do you help around or attend?
What type have I not helped? You know? Anything from the youth, Elizabeth Youth Theater Ensemble, and other
Yeah.
youth organizations, organizations dealing with cancer research, cancer support, of course, autism, near and dear. So many youth organizations, because the youth are our future. So I believe in trying to build a foundation for our young people and say, look, you can go into sports, you can go into theater, you can go into the arts, you can go into medicine. And so I try to help all those type of organizations, and not only help them by giving them resources, but giving them a foundation. Like, you want to start an organization? Okay, go get your 501c3. Okay, go, register your organization.
Yeah, you help
Yeah.
them get started.
Yeah,
you
get
help them
started.
push
Exactly.
into it.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's what I do, and that's important.
That's very important.
Yeah, it's very good to have a foundation. It's very good to start off somewhere because not a lot of people get that opportunity. But, have you tried to expand your nonprofit organizations like outside of New Jersey? Because, not only us people need help, the other people need help. And there's a lot of other people that we want to bring together so we can all better our world.
Well, globally, nationally, no, I have not. I like to empower other folks. Okay, charity begins at home. So what I do needs to begin in Elizabeth, and then other people can take it abroad. Example, like Elizabeth Youth Theater Ensemble. They're in California. Okay, so they went from East Coast to West Coast. And so I still support. So there are a lot of organizations, New Jersey for Haiti. When New Jersey for Haiti was formed during the 2010 earthquake that happened in Haiti. Since we have a huge Haitian population here, we thought it was right to pay homage to the people who are here and also to the people who are abroad. So I even traveled to Haiti to help with mission because of the New Jersey for a Haiti earthquake. So there are places where I've been, to bring mission and work with others because of the work we do here. So New Jersey for Haiti is the only place, I think, in the country that has a memorial, memorializing all those Haitians who died in that earthquake of 2010. And so that type of work I do, and that type of work I think is important, but I also think it's always important to make sure that our organizations and the people here in the city of Elizabeth and what they do is a foundation where they can continue to grow.
Okay. Well, do you have like a specific non-profit organization that you work in the most, or do you work in like all of them?
I have quite a few. I have my own. I have a civic association, the Pat Perkins Auguste Civic Association, who's a 501c3 non-charitable organization. There are so many others, like the bigger ones, United Way of Union County, the NAACP, life member there. I started National Council of Negro Women, Greater Elizabeth area section, who deal with women globally. But we have a section here in the city of Elizabeth. So there's so many that I can name. And recently there's another one called Walkers for Life. And that's a support group for people who helping people who go through cancer. So we would walk over the Gothos Bridge and walk other places. And so that's a foundation that's doing great work, not only here in Elizabeth, but really around the surrounding communities. There's so many. The New Jersey Legacy Foundation. The New Jersey Legacy Foundation deals with the legacy of President Barack Obama and all the work he did as being the first African American president for the United States. So I can go on and on, but there's so many organizations that do good work in the city of Elizabeth and beyond. And like you said, and beyond.
And beyond. It's so important to start the foundation here and inspire others to start their own elsewhere and to kind of just expand, let it flow, let the people help others. I had wanted to ask. I saw on your socials that you had attended a dinner for a place that helps with like autism awareness and everything. I wanted to ask, like, what makes like autism awareness such like a topic that you like to support, that you like to push forward?
Well, as you know, I have a 27-year-old, and so he was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2.5. So on the personal side, private personal side, I've always worked with the autism community just by working with my son,
Yeah.
the schools that he's gone to, his friends, and then we do an autism flag raising here in the city of Elizabeth. All that is to bring awareness that these are our residents too, and they matter, and they should have a place in our community. And that place, sometimes it may be different for how they see it, but we still should provide a place for children who are autistic, children who have other childhood diseases, because they're going to grow up. They're going to grow up. So we have to provide a place for them. Now my son is 27. What I did for him when he was 3, 4, 7, 10, 11, 12 is different than what I do for him that he's 27. And so they grow up, they evolve, but they're definitely welcome into our community. So that's a big thing with the autism community. Since it's a spectrum, you have someone who cannot speak versus someone who can speak. You have someone who cognitively cannot work. You have someone who may be cognitively who can work. But we have to make society know that they are a part of us and they are deserving of all the rights that everyone else has.
Okay, well, I kind of relate to you with that. I actually have a little brother who he's autistic and he can't speak, and sometimes it's like a little bit like uncomfortable to deal with it, but I really I go towards like God to help me with that, and I know he gives me strength and stuff to work with it, and my experiences have actually been good with him so far. Like as he grew up, it got better. And would you like to share like any experience with us about it?
Definitely, I can share so many experiences with you. But the most important thing that I tell families who have children or siblings or cousins or anything who is on the spectrum, why should you feel ashamed, or why should you be embarrassed, or why should you get angry? Why are you getting that way when the child or the person can't communicate? Meaning they can't communicate. So why is your frustration more important than the person who needs your assistance? So I tell all the families that it's not about you, it's about us making the person feel comfortable, making them like themselves and understand who they are, even though they can't explain it to you. And God plays an important role. My son, he goes to church every Sunday since the time he was 2 years old. I've been bringing him to church. He reads his daily word. There's certain things you have to let people know and the community know. He can swim. He can ride his bicycle. He can read on his own. He's a 3rd-degree black belt.
That's
That's
impressive.
because, right, I never told him you're autistic. I never put a label on my son. I never said you're autistic. I never said you can't do that because you're autistic.
True.
I never said you can't do anything what the other children are doing because of your autism. I never said that to my son.
Yeah.
Now, at 27, he'll say to me, Mommy, I think that person's autistic. You understand? So he embraced the fact that although he has autism, he swims, he can jump off a diving board, he can ride his bike by himself. He does all these things that normally people with children that are autistic, the families don't embrace and let the child be a child.
Yeah.
So and he's been doing these things since he was 5, 6 years old. Even though with the problem with the communication, or he has learned to gain most of his speaking back. When he was born, he spoke for about 6 months, then he lost it, but he was taught to gain it back. It's what you put into the child and what you put into the autistic person to embrace them. And they'll find their way. And when he graduated from high school, he graduated during COVID, and he did a video. He simply said he wanted to thank his school for helping him find his way. Okay, not your way, not what mommy wanted, not what daddy wanted, not what his little brother wanted, helping him to find his way. And that's what we have to do with our autistic residents. They're residents, they're very near and dear to me. There's so many autistic programs that are currently in the city of Elizabeth. We cannot never have enough because the spectrum is wide, from nonverbal to verbal to so many other issues, as you can be aware of, you know?
Yeah.
My son, he has an eating disorder. So he wants to eat all the time, okay? He wants to eat all the time. So he'll call me, Mommy, what we having for dinner? Can you go here, there? I said, yeah, okay. You know, I play along. I don't, you don't argue with them because you will never win the argument. You know, so some things you just let them think, and then, oh, Mommy, you didn't do that. No, Mommy was busy in a meeting. Okay, Mommy, next time when you're not busy. Isn't that a more simpler way to dialogue? And then for me to say, no, I'm not going to get that for you because you don't need it because da.
Yeah.
About the communication.
It's about the thank you. It's
Communication
about the
is important.
communication, and that is key. Communication with people on the autism spectrum is key. And you said it. It's about the communication, how you communicate.
Yeah.
And not only for the autism community, it's like how you communicate with people
In general.
in
general.
Yeah.
So how you communicate with people in general is even more sensitive and more personal in terms of how you communicate with a child that is autistic. And thank you, because it is key. Communication is the key. I could have said, oh no, when he calls, yeah, I'm gonna get that. Yeah, okay, yeah, Mommy gonna get the ice cream from me, and Mommy gonna get the. Mommy, you didn't get. No, I'm sorry, I forgot. I was busy. Next time. Isn't that simpler than me saying, no, you
Much
can't
more
have the ice
simpler.
cream. It's too fat for you. Do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time he asks for something, I can't say, no, Mom, no, that's too fat. No. Is that positive communication?
It's
And it
not.
just frustrates him. And he'll go around
Yeah.
and say, oh, okay, next time, Mommy. Next week you'll get it. I said, yes, I'll get it next week.
Okay.
So it is a mind game. It truly is. The autistic person is they're highly advanced, far more advanced than us. But the issue is that the family that they live in and who watches over them have to encourage them and help them find what makes them happy most. What can bring out the genius in that child. Like, now they say, oh, Beethoven was autistic and this person was autistic.
Yeah.
Who knows 150 years ago? Who knows? But this is what they're trying to say. Oh, this person had autism. This famous person was autistic. But who really knows,
Yeah.
So the main thing, if anyone have any child, anybody who's autistic in your family, try to watch them, see what they like to do best, and then you got to redirect them. When they do things that are harmful to themselves or harmful to
Others.
you have to redirect it, not punish,
Yeah.
because they don't know what punishment means. They don't understand. That's a communication piece. They don't understand punishment. They don't understand laughter. They don't understand what it means to cry. You know, those have to be taught. They have to literally learn emotions. So when you're screaming and yelling, or if someone is hitting,
It's not an effective
it's
way.
not an
Yeah.
effective way. You're correct. It's
Yeah.
not an effective way.
Your words,
Okay.
like they just feel so powerful. Like especially for me, I have an uncle who is autistic,
So,
and
you know.
he like he can't really speak. You
Right.
know, he can say certain words because
Right.
we've tried our hardest to connect with him and teach him all that. But like I understand, like redirecting communication with
Yeah,
him,
you have
even
to
though
redirect them.
even though he might not be able to speak for so long, he can only say a few words. It's like he's still himself. He's still his personality. We still encourage him to do what he loves. I mean, we love taking him to the beach. He loves the ocean, and it's just hearing you say that
Right.
makes me feel so.
So you
connected.
understand.
I
Yeah.
I
Me too.
understand. Yeah.
And that's it. And it's never too old for them to learn. It's never too old for them to go to a speech pathologist, a good speech pathologist, and take good speech therapy to help them, you know, regain their speech. It's never too late. Never too late.
Yeah, I took my little brother just recently to the water park. He likes the water park. The water park is like a really like crazy experience for him. Like he likes the slides and things like that, and the colors all around. Like
Yeah.
it really helps him. And then we communicate. We're like, we show him like a picture. Like, do you want to go here? Like, or do you want to eat this? And yeah, like you said, like it's a very effective way to communicate with him. And yeah, I love those words. Like they really help me, and they're gonna help me like grow with him in the future.
And that's it, grow to the point
Yeah.
where, you know, he's going to start showing you stuff and telling you things.
Yeah.
You know? That's the point where you know you have reached them. And so don't ever give up on your loved ones who are on the spectrum, because there's a genius inside of them that is waiting to be born.
Yeah.
There's a genius inside of them. It doesn't matter what their ages are. It doesn't matter. It's there.
Yeah, I know my uncle. He's 57.
It doesn't
so
matter.
it's just like age doesn't matter. It's
It
just
doesn't.
that constant communication, that constant like trying. And I know like with him, like it's so hard on my family because they're in El Salvador,
Oh, wow.
and it takes it takes a village to help with him.
Yes, it really
obviously,
does. That's-
it takes a village to raise a child in general.
In general.
Yeah, and I just wanted to ask, like, I had seen that you mentioned God and that he goes to church. I wanted to ask, was the church like a support system for you guys while he was growing up?
Very, very much so. And it's quite a few children that attend the church that we attend that are on the spectrum. Some of them are his friends. You know, they go to each other's birthday parties. You know, they go to the pool. They go to the movies together. You know, one is nonverbal. And he's 27, 28, but he's still nonverbal, but he still enjoys his life. We go on vacation together. We went to Cuba together. Yes, we took a cruise to Cuba together. So, but it takes a lot of discipline from the family members. And also, like you said, it takes a village. The school, community,
Yeah.
the OT, the speech therapy, and then the therapy that helps them with their core. Okay, the bouncy balls and all of those things help. That's why my son took up karate for his core. Swimming is excellent for his
Yeah.
core. And I must say that the city of Elizabeth have good programs for the autism community, for children before the age of 21. They can teach them how to swim free. They have the summer program that's going on now. I just left their program that they have down at School One. It's been going on for over 50 years. So we have some programs here in the city of Elizabeth that are hidden treasures that other communities just do not have. So we have some good programs. And then we have a school district that if they can't provide the educational needs for the child, then they can go out of district. My son went out of district from the age of 2.5 until he graduated at the age of 21.
Where'd he graduate from?
He graduated actually from ECLC in Chatham.
In China.
Yeah. So he went to 4 different schools. He went to school in Newark, Catholic Community Service. Then he went to Crossroads in Westfield. And then he went to school in Fairfield, New Beginnings. And then over to ECLC in Chatham. So you can't get stagnated with an autistic person because they like change. They adapt quicker than we realize, and then it's time. Then they do things just by repetition. So then that's why you have to change their environment. So you got to make sure that they're learning, like they just not being repetitious. And so it's a big thing, and I've been dealing with it for 25 years, and so I understand, and I can look at a child and say, maybe you want to get your son or daughter checked out, and I see some autism traits.
Yeah.
Just by, I can almost see that. So God plays the ultimate role. And I tell parents, because sometimes people feel embarrassed or something. No, you didn't do anything wrong. I said it states in the Bible. When Jesus was walking through one of the villages with his followers, and they saw a little boy who was lame, who could not walk. And his followers said, oh my God, what did the parents do that the child cannot walk? And Jesus answered them and said, no, the parents did nothing. That child cannot walk because you're going to see the goodness of God through that child. So a parent is not your fault. So big brother, you had nothing to do with it. Niece is not your fault. God has something to show us through that child, through that autism. So never blame yourself. Tell your family members, whoever's listening to this podcast, if it goes anywhere, if you have autistic people, children in your family, it's not the parents' fault.
True.
God wants to show a miracle through that child. And so it's up to you to help that miracle to become a reality. So that's it.
Okay, well, I heard that you traveled to Cuba,
Yes.
through a cruise. Yeah, I've never been on one, but do you recommend any other places that you travel to? Do you recommend any other places to us?
It depending on what you like to do. I've been to Africa. I've been to Senegal. I saw, as an African American, it was important for me to see a slave castle over in Africa that shipped us to America. So that was something that I wanted to see. I always wanted to go to Africa. And in Senegal, it's called Gorée Island. Those of you who went to that, you can look it up. It's called Gorée Island. And that was some of the largest slave castles. They have the men on one side, women on another, the children on another. And it was a door. They carved it out. They said the door of no return because it was nothing but the ocean in front of you. So once you got on the ship and once they carried you across the waters, that was it as the African. And when you go to those slave ships, those slave castles, that's been around, oh my God, 400-500 years.
Long time.
Yes, thank you. A long time.
Long time.
You can still hear the resonance of the slaves, of the captive Africans crying. Over 400 or 500 years, you can feel their spirits in those slave castles. So that was something for me to do. Going to Cuba it was something that everyone wants to do. Everyone wanted to go to Cuba because Cuba was shut off from us until President Obama opened it back up. And the Cuban people, they were so receptive. They were so loving. They thanked us for coming and visiting Cuba. They thanked us for spending our money there. But more importantly, they thanked President Obama for opening up to tourism. And if you ever have an opportunity to go to Cuba, they still have the same cars and stuff that they had back in the 1950s. Because everything was a complete embargo. Nothing was going in, nothing imported in, nothing. So they still have the same cars and the same old Cuban avions that in the late 50s. But they were the nicest people. And I really enjoyed that trip. And of course, Haiti was very important because my son's grandfather is Haitian. That's where the Auguste comes from. Some say Auguste, the French says Auguste because they don't pronounce the E at the end, but Americans, we say Auguste. Right. But their grandfather came from Haiti. So going there was extremely important. We love Mexico. The family went to Mexico on a wedding. Their grandmother is Mexican. So my sons were able to see where their grandmother came from, which was Mexico. I didn't take them to Haiti because Haiti is always in transition. And so Haiti is a place where you go. It's a place that's always in transition, political transition, so political turmoil. So you have to be careful when you travel. Then you have to travel at the right time and with the right group of people. So those are the places that I really enjoy to go. And of course, part of the U.S., Hawaii. People don't realize Hawaii is a part of the U.S.
True.
Hawaii is a territory. So going to Hawaii, again, with the boys and some family members, showed them this too is America. Okay? So that was a good thing. And of course, Puerto Rico, we all got to go. These are American territories. And I think we as Americans need to travel to some of our territories. You don't need a passport to go to Cuba. You don't need a passport to go to Hawaii or Puerto Rico because they are our territories. And I think you need to go and see. And it's funny, when I went to Puerto Rico, so the guy was speaking Spanish. I teased him. I said, "You in America? Why are you speaking Spanish?" I'm like, Puerto Rico is American. So the guy laughed. He said, "You're right." But we were just playing back and forth because I knew he could speak English. But he was like I said, "Why are you speaking Spanish? We in America like that." And so he laughed. But that's Puerto Rico. But that's a beautiful place to go to also. That's where they said Christopher Columbus landed and discovered America. But that's a whole nother, story. But in any event, so they have a lot of statues of Christopher Columbus in Puerto Rico. So travel is important. The earth, God created the earth from men and women to live, to take care of the animals.
Broaden your knowledge of the world.
Right. We're the ones who are the custodians of the earth.
Yeah.
How can you be a custodian of something that you never traveled?
True.
How do
All
you
these new life experiences.
Right. How do you know, like the custodians here in this building? How do they know if the dirt exists if they don't clean it? Right? So you can't say, I'm a custodian and don't look after nothing, don't fix something when it's broken, don't change the light bulb, don't clean the bathrooms. What are you custodian? You're not a good custodian. So how are we?
If we don't go out and
as the
experience
human
the
race,
world.
go out and experience and see what we can change to make better. Who are we? We're the custodians. We're supposed to look after the animals. We're supposed to be in charge of the animal world. We're in charge of the sea world. We're supposed to do those things. That's how God made it. He made us a little bit lower than the angels, meaning that we can think. We have an intellect unlike any other animal. We can build robots and spaceships and airplanes. We have that capacity in our minds. So why can't we make sure when someone throws paper on the ground outside, pick it up? Why do we litter on the earth that we're supposed to keep clean and be the custodian of?
True.
We gotta make sure to be good members of our
Good
city,
members of our own
state.
city. Why when we walk our dogs and dogs do their business,
True.
we don't clean it up?
Yeah.
Dog business it's not fertilizer. If
No,
a dog
it's
do their
not.
business, 2 years from now, that dog business will still be there, hard as a rock. It would not move.
Yeah.
It's
So
important
it's
to take
not
care
good
of.
for the earth. It's
Yeah.
not for that purpose. Okay, so we are the custodians. We are the custodians of those who are less fortunate, of our autistic community. We are the custodians of those who have disabilities beyond their own problems. We supposed to care for those people.
Yeah.
So if you think about going into public life, you need to think about why. You know,
Okay.
why are we going to do this? Are we there to ingratiate ourselves and do all what we can for ourselves, or are we going to help the greater community? So that's it.
It's good to just take care of the earth and also take care of each other.
And you take care of each
we
other.
only live one life. We
Right.
only have
Your
this
first
one
priority
earth.
is your family. Those who have family, yeah, you take care of your little brother,
I will.
and you encourage your nephew. I mean, your
Uncle.
uncle. Excuse me. You encourage your uncle. You take care of your little brother. You know, and those who are other people who may be less fortunate in your family. You're only as good as the weakest link. So you can't say I'm good. You can't be in this class and say I'm the best, and other people are falling off and not really doing their best. We need to look at the person who's not doing their best and say, what can we do to assist you? What can we do to help you? Because we're one team, and the word team has no I in it. It's team, TEAM. So think of that when you in a class and be doing the dirty dozens on someone, okay? It's because
Always
they
have
can't.
something.
Because they can't get that grade up, okay?
Always have that in your mind.
Always
Just
have that
care
in
about
mind.
others.
And think about others, yeah. Because we
Definitely.
only have one earth, and we're the custodians of it, especially the young people. So I shouldn't see any of you outside throwing, littering,
I won't.
Any of
None
you.
of
any
us.
of us throwing stuff out the window of the car.
Yeah.
This stuff that is irresponsible as a custodian. That's totally irresponsible. And we're going to talk about our bodies later. Let's see your other questions you have.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to comment. I like that, like, community of the church and everything, and having those experiences to travel for your son and his friend. Like, I feel like that's wonderful for them to
It's very-
experience.
yeah.
Very
and,
nice.
and you need to know why you're going to place. You need to know why you want to travel, where you want to travel. People, they have these little lists. And I said, okay, maybe they want to go see the Grand Canyon. Maybe they want to go see the Washington Monument. All those are, maybe they want to go visit the White House. All of those are perfect because you need to know the country that you live in. You need to know the history. You need to understand where you live, in the world, on the world stage. You need to know what America is and who America is. Statue of Liberty. Have you been to the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah, I've been there.
You've been there?
I
Okay.
went there with a program. And I went there with like this program. I think it's called BFL. I don't know if you've heard
Yeah,
of it.
yes, BFL. One
Oh,
of my
yeah.
that's an offshoot of one of the programs that I created for the city. Yeah. SOAR, the SOAR program.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so that's an old program. Okay, I'm sorry, Madam Host.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to ask you, do you think like it's important? Do you think we need? Not do you think it's important,
Definitely.
but also like, how do you feel like being such a leader and like helping spread more awareness and support for members on the spectrum? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, how do you think we can better our knowledge and understanding of people who are dealing with autism?
It is extremely important, and we're lay people, so like you may want to go to school and become a teacher of the handicap and learn about autism. You may want to be a speech pathologist or an occupational therapist. It's extremely important that there's a professional community that really has an understanding of how to do the redirecting, how to help someone learn how to gain their speech back, to limit the sign language, and let's make them write their words and make them write, their alphabet, and make them learn their numbers. We cannot say, oh, just because they're autistic and they don't need to learn how to write. That's not true. Just because they're autistic, they don't need to understand their numbers. That's not true. Just
Yeah.
because they're autistic, they don't need to learn how the clock ticks on the wall. That's not true. They don't need to know how to tell the time. All of those things are not true. They should be learning those items. They should be learning their ABCs. They should be learning cursive writing and how to connect them, even though they don't teach it now. Even though some of you may not know how to write your name in cursive, but we should teach that because those are all skills that can help them with their mind in terms of how their mind works. So we cannot say, oh, give them everything on a computer or a tablet.
Yeah.
I think that's giving the human mind a disservice.
It's important for everyone to learn that, and they should be able to learn it
Everyone
too.
should learn that. Like there's a
Everyone.
saying, like a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
True.
The
Definitely.
mind. So if you're doing everything by tablet, and if you're using artificial intelligence, the word itself, it
Yeah.
says artificial.
Artificial.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Are we that numb to vision? Artificial intelligence gives us no vision, has us dumbing our minds down and letting a computer who's been programmed and built by other humans basically tell us whatever. Let's try some authentic intelligence. And that's what you see in the autistic person. You see authentic intelligence. And people cannot relate to that. So that's why they make the autistic person extra special, because they know what they're doing, but the normal person, whatever that is, he or she doesn't understand it. So when you're around people who are autistic, let them use their authentic intelligence. That's AI too. Authentic
Authentic
intelligence is AI too.
And that's beautiful.
So would you want authentic intelligence or artificial intelligence?
Authentic.
it's always
It's
authentic.
it's just a no-brainer.
It is.
It's a no-brainer. So I'm not knocking artificial intelligence because it does have some merit, especially when it comes to medicine and things of that nature and maybe some other stuff. But to allow it to think for you or think for you or think for me and even on the phone try to tell me what to do, no.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
No.
just, yeah, so ask yourselves, authentic intelligence or artificial intelligence? And you put the AI up, and then you put a list, authentic intelligence. What does that mean? Okay. Artificial intelligence. What does that mean?
It's important to nurture the mind,
Thank
and then, like, I just want to say you have a beautiful way with words.
Okay,
I
I
love that.
you know.
And I wanted to thank you for your time
You're
here. Thank you for accompanying me and Jaden on this
Yeah.
podcast episode.
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
for having me. I hope it wasn't too
It was
boring.
a pleasure.
No,
No,
it
The
wasn't.
audience didn't
definitely
fall
not.
asleep. I know it's after
No.
lunchtime, and I know how that can be.
It was
Someone
very
told me they
informative.
had some Popeye's chicken, and they was tired, so I can understand. If you had a heavy lunch, I can understand that. But
Alright.
no, young people, it's your time.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Every movement in the U.S. started with the young people. Young people on college campuses. You're about to all go on to college campuses in about a year. Young people in the classroom. The movement starts with our young. Because you know why?
Why?
You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
True.
Nothing to lose,
I couldn't think of better words.
but
to
everything
end it
to
off
gain.
with.
Okay, so we're going to end it off at
there.
that.